The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Fore!
Welcome, friends, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word, the show that gives you the inside scoop on the best public courses in New England and other golf hotspots. So whether you're a worm burner or a total ace, join us at the 19th hole while we talk all things golf. Now approaching the tee box, your hosts, Craig and Janine Dufton.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Welcome back. Aloha and mahalo to Chrissy and Mr. Jonathan and David for filling in for us. I mean, actually, not even filling in, making the show way better over the last 3 weeks.
I don't know. Don't give him that much credit.
No, I'm going to give him credit.
They did pretty good.
That was a professionally done pod. Those are three well-done podcasts.
They did all right.
Even for guys who have no idea.
No idea.
And one producer who has somewhat of an idea of golf
I'm learning.
Yes. Well, welcome to the EXP Sound Studio here, EXP Realty Sound Studio. As you can see, J9 is not here today. She, unfortunately, because we took so much time in Hawaii, had to do a little bit of work today. And she'll be with us next week, and we're going to talk all about our trip to Hawaii. We played at 4 different golf courses.
Oh, wow.
And we had a great time.
We have lots of pictures
Got to see our boys. You know what's the funny thing is I didn't smoke like one cigar that whole time. Yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Huh.
Not one cigar. But I came home, and I'm making up for it, and we're smoking cigars today. But
yes,
we're actually going to talk about what happened this weekend at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
The USA versus Europe, the 43rd, I believe, Ryder Cup.
Yep.
And it was a one-sided affair. Unfortunately, ruined the Sundays of most people who enjoy this format. Every 2 years, the Ryder Cup happens.
Okay.
And it's always the Europeans versus the United States. Typically, it's going to be like the top players in the world, plus the coaches get 4 picks, right? So you had the last time we played it was in 2018 because it was supposed to be last year with the dreaded C word.
Oh, yes.
Stopped the COVID. COVID stopped the Ryder Cup from happening. So now the Ryder Cup is taking place at Whistling Pines in Wisconsin, which is a Pete Dye golf course, unbelievable golf course. I'm going to actually tell a personal story because my friend Peter Shumsky, who I wanted to be here with me today, I'm going to call him out if he's listening on Facebook, or I'm going to call him out. He does a lot of work with like Kohler. You know, Kohler is the plumbing company. They do faucets and stuff like that. Well, he buys a ton of stuff from them. His company buys a ton of stuff from them.
Oh, okay.
And so out in Wisconsin is where Kohler is located.
Yep.
And, of course, they have a great relationship, apparently, with the Whistling Pines golf course. And they invited everybody, all their vendors and all their customers out for the weekend to go to Whistling Pines. And my friend Pete did not go because it was on the weekend versus during the week. So I'm calling him out on it, all right? I mean, when you get a chance to play,
let us down.
Yes, let's talk about Whistling Pines for a second, okay? If you get a chance to play this golf course, I don't care how good you are or how bad you are. If someone asks you, hey, Chrissy, you want to come play Whistling Pines with us? It's on the weekend. You go, yeah, Craig, let's go play Whistling Pines.
Yeah, we're going this weekend, aren't we?
Right.
What's happening?
It has 4, there's like 4 golf courses there. There's a huge hotel. I mean, this is like a resort experience. I mean, you know, there's not a lot of reasons that people are going to say, hey, let's go fly to Wisconsin for this weekend. But that would be one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe go see the Green Bay Packers, play the Bears or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, let's digress. They started.
We already did that. Let's get back on track.
Let's digress even further and then regress.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ryder Cup itself.
Yes.
Little tiny trophy. I think it's like 15 inches tall.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. I've pulled it up so I can try and feel semi-educated on what's happening.
Good. Well, tell us what you know about it.
It's teeny tiny. Look at them.
Teeny tiny.
The whole winning team, they're all trying to touch it. It's like, yeah. It looks
it's not an easy thing to do.
No, it is a teeny. Why is it so small?
Well, I think it's just the fact that it's not really even about that trophy. It's just about the bragging rights, like Europe versus the United States. You know, it's been like when it's typically at home, the home team usually has advantage, but Europe has won at home like so many times in a row. I mean, there's so many different stats. You guys can look up, Google all the stats you want, but like it was coming down to this year. This year's teams was the United States had like the top 9 players out of 10, right? And then Europe had like their average ranking. Our average ranking was 9th. Their average ranking was 29th. So that meant that all their players combined equal 29th. And but the one thing that Europe had that the United States doesn't have was experience. They had Sergio Garcia. They had a couple of other players on there, Ian Poulter. These guys have played like 160 matches in Ryder Cup versus I think the United States, these kids are all young, and I think they had 49 matches between all of them. That's how much. So it's like 3 times more experience in Ryder Cup. But unfortunately, I think this weekend, skill won. That was really, 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 really good golf this weekend. These guys the United States just did not miss.
No, what's the score? What was? I'm just.
It was. It ended up being
29 to. No.
Yeah. Well, there's 29 points total, and you have to. So it's 4 matches. It's 4 matches.
Yep.
4 matches, and then there's singles matches on Sunday for. I think it's 12 points total, right? On Sunday, and then 8 and 8.
I'm seeing 19 to 9. That's what the full.
Right.
But that's
28 points total is the amount that you can get. Right. So you can either tie the match. Ooh. So everything is match play, though. So even though the formats are different on how they play, like on the last day, they just play each other. One player plays another player, like Sergio Garcia playing Patrick Cantlay or John Rahm playing. I think I got those wrong. I think I mixed them up. But Sergio Garcia and John Rahm were the only ones for Europe that had won anything going into Sunday. And then ironically, both of them lost on Sunday. And then Ian Poulter pulled a couple of wins. A couple of other people, Rory McIlroy, I think, won for the Europeans on Sunday too. So there were some great names in there, some great golf.
Yeah, I'm just going through it now.
It was just tough. You didn't watch any of it, did you? I didn't get to see
Saturday. I'm not going to even kind of lie to you. I did not watch golf.
Well, this weekend was there was some great TV on this weekend, right? We had the Patriots. The Patriots were on at 1:00, right? And then you had 4:00, you have Tom Brady's on playing for Tampa Bay. And in the meantime, the Ryder Cup's on. But all 3 of those things stunk. The Patriots stunk on Sunday. And then the Ryder Cup was like over by Sunday because they had beaten them really badly in the first 2 days.
There's no coming back from that.
In the first 2 days, it's more team play. So you're playing with another player, and you do alternate shot or you do best ball. So not the kind of best ball that everybody around here is used to. Hey, we're going to do a scramble and we'll take the best shot. No, it's best ball means like if I got a 5 on the hole and you got a 4. Then your score wins.
Right.
So no strokes. They don't have any handicaps on this or anything like that, like we do in our regular stuff. But the great part about Ryder Cup is the history of Ryder Cup. It's gone on for many, many years. So 43 years, 43rd time every other year. So that means like 86 years worth of golf has been played. And so you have all of these stars that have played in it in all the years. And there's just been some great, great golf. And that's what's great about it. And then they came out with the President's Cup, because they wanted to include guys like Greg Norman back then, because they didn't have anybody from South Africa in the European stuff. You couldn't, if you weren't from Europe, you couldn't play. So now in between, hi, Mr. Jonathan, how are you? In between the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup, they like go in between each other every year. So like the President's Cup was supposed to be this year too, but it didn't. And then they have the Solheim Cup for women, which is the Ryder Cup version for women.
Okay,
I'm informing. I'm just talking. It's like Chrissy and I talking to each other today. And if you guys want to listen in, if you want comments, if you saw the Ryder Cup, if you were out there and you're listening, and it's just so hard to describe all of the shots. They were just like.
I've been going through it this morning.
Dustin Johnson went over. He was 5-0. And, nobody was expecting him to really do anything, even himself. He even said it after the Ryder Cup. He's like, geez, that was really, that was really good. I played really well. Everything felt good. Like all the shots were great. And these guys, the American team just absolutely tore up that course. Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay. They all had just, John Rahm was really a shining example for the Europeans. Sergio, I don't think anybody's like gets up for Ryder Cup more than Sergio Garcia. You don't hear much about him anymore because he's old like me.
He only comes out for the big
right.
stuff.
And he's, he was a coach's pick, and he's one of my favorites. It's hard not to like Sergio Garcia. You're always rooting for him because he never won a major for a while there, and until he won the Masters, and it's kind of like Greg Norman. Greg Norman is like an icon for people. So my cigar went out though.
Oh no!
Yeah,
we should fix that.
Tell me some more facts that you're finding out about the Ryder Cup. What do you want to talk about?
Don't put me on the spot. I'm just Googling. I'm trying to educate as we go here.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just looking at the teams and you're right. Like even the age. I mean, there are some.
Yeah, there's some.
No offending.
Ian,
there are some older gentlemen.
yes.
I'm looking at what have we got here?
We call them seasoned veterans.
Wait, vice captain. What is that?
Does
that mean they play or they don't play?
Yeah, they could play. Yep.
Oh, look, all the older gentlemen are all the vice captains.
Yeah,
So
the captain for the United States. Padraig Harrington was for Europe, who's a unbelievable golfer in his own right, and Steve Stricker from the United States, and this is his second time being captain. He got kind of slapped around last time.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, captain, and then the rest are all vice captains.
because last time Steve Stricker had four captains picks.
Yep.
And should we go to break and then we'll tell you about the 4 captains picks? Or should we do a commercial?
Finish up that.
All right, 4 captains picks. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you who they were, and you're going to go, okay, those weren't bad. Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson.
Okay.
And Bryson DeChambeau. Okay?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of those guys?
No, just the last one. I'm like, that guy I've not heard of. Sorry.
So the U.S. picks were 2, 10, and 0. As Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and Bryson DeChambeau combined for an 0-9 Ryder Cup the last time they played. So not so good.
Oh. Well, on that lovely note, let's take a break.
I'm just saying. Well, the last time Europe beat us 17.5 to 10.5. Okay. So that's a pretty good shellacking. So what we did this weekend was kind of here you go.
Remember that time?
Hey, we're gonna be back. Who's sponsoring us today? Who do we got rolled up?
Oh, we got Elk Realty.
Oh, God, love those guys. Elk Mortgage Company.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Playing golf with Josh tomorrow in the Rotary golf tournament we talked about.
What did I say? Realty? I know what I meant.
That's okay.
Elk Mortgage Team.
Yeah,
that's
Elk
what I meant
Mortgage
to say.
Team. Coming up right there, down below, fairway.
Yeah.
Ooh, fairway. See you in a bit.
May the mortgage gods smile upon us.
I love thee, Michael of North Suburbia.
And I thee.
I guess you guys are worried about competitive bids. Don't be. Our Fairway Advantage pre-approval is so powerful, you can even compete against cash.
So we will triumph.
I did say we'd get you home.
We are forever indebted to you, my lord.
Honey, you're being weird.
So get started with Elk Mortgage Team today. Call Josh Frias on 603-714-2438 or visit elkmortgageteam.com.
All right. Love it. Elk Mortgage. Love those guys. And if they get into realty, too, Elk Realty sounds pretty good, too, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm calling you out.
I was just throwing it out there.
I love it. Hey, we correct ourselves here. We're a live show. Stuff happens.
I'm only doing so much. I'm trying to run the board. I'm trying to research the Ryder Cup.
Have you listened to me talk today? I'm in jet lag.
Craig's
mode.
a little jet lagged.
Honestly, I'm still in Hawaii. At least 3/4 of me, maybe. So I told you last year they were delayed because of COVID, and actually there was one other time that the Ryder Cup has been delayed.
Oh yeah,
and bet you somebody out there could guess it. But it was this little event called September 11th. Unfortunately, that delayed it a little bit too as well. So let's talk about the United States roster this year, okay? Daniel Berger, Patrick Cantlay, FedEx champion, Bryson DeChambeau, U.S. Open champion, Harris English, Tony Finau, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, and Justin Thomas.
Right.
I mean, that is like a dream team, like a European basketball USA dream team playing thing, right?
But I was reading that 6 of them were rookies, so they were saying they weren't shying away this year of giving the new guys a shot
Colin
at it.
Morikawa, yep, absolutely. I mean, and look at how great he played. His iron play is like he's probably one of the best iron players in the world. Like it's crazy. He had a shot into the 16th or 17th hole on Sunday to basically tie basically assured the United States of a win, right? Because
Yep.
he got a half a point, and that's all the United States needed was a half a point. You need 11, and you need I think it's 14 and a half points to win, right? So they were at 14 points. Colin Morikawa ties the match, but his shot was like this iron, hits the edge of the rough on the right side, just rolls right up to the pin, like 4 feet away.
Yeah.
I mean, when you need a shot like that, you would think a rookie would be like, he'd be shaking in his shoes.
Well,
But they weren't. They
like a
just
champion.
absolutely played as solid as they thought they were going to play. Because a lot of people, when you listen to it, of course, when you listen to talk radio and you listen to people like us on podcasts, they were like, oh, this USA team is too good. They're going to be the controversy between Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. Nobody's going to talk to each other and all this stuff.
Right.
And like when you listened to it and you watched it this weekend, it couldn't have been more opposite than that. Did I say that right? Couldn't have been more opposite, right?
We make sense here. Jet lag is fine.
And even Steve Stricker pointed it out. He's like, listen, he goes, we've even got Brooksy and Bryson talking to each other. And they're, I'm not sure they're going to be on a team together anytime soon, but they came together as a team. And that's what's cool about the one time in golf where team is actually like a concept for golf. You know what I mean? Whereas normally you don't really have, like, we talked about it in the Olympics, you really don't like have like a team. You don't have a team concept. I'm playing with you guys, but like if they had taken all the combined scores of like, but even like Poland only had one guy, only one guy, so
Poland's
it's like
all alone.
all right, well Poland, but you know what? It's pretty. They're pretty proud of that guy in Poland. He's like become like this national icon. By the way, I was reading about him. He's like the one-time representative. Like that. What's that guy that was from England that did the skiing? Eddie the Eagle.
Oh yeah, Eddie the Eagle.
Back
What a
in the
good
day.
movie.
That's the same. It's like the same kind of concept with the Polish golfer. I feel like there should be a joke there, but I'm not gonna go down the Polish golfer line. I really loved Ryder Cup though over the years.
Yep.
When they had it in Massachusetts at Brookline, and it was Justin Leonard back then made this putt like from, I don't even know how long the putt was, but it was just like nobody in the world thought that putt was going to go in, and it just dropped in, and the place was just going nuts. And Payne Stewart's there, and it's just that cool camaraderie that you don't see in golf normally. We don't ever see it until you come to the Ryder Cup and you understand it. And then you see the guys in Europe. You see them all dressed up. Like this weekend, the people are dressed up in the red, white, and blue. They got like red, white, and blue blazers on with hats. And
that's awesome.
In the Europeans, like 2 years from now when we go to Europe, you'll see it. Like if they play in Valderrama or someplace in Spain, like they just go absolutely nuts. And then the Spanish, like the European fans are complaining that the American fans are too loud, and the American fans are complaining that the European fans are too loud. It's the best, like it's just good. I love good golf rivalry like that. I don't know why.
Because it's a bit of fun.
It is.
It's entertaining.
But you know what else is great about it
brings you
too,
together.
Chrissy? Is every golf course around here, every like golf course that has like membership and they do an active leagues and stuff like that, they all have Ryder Cup competitions this time. Like most of the golf courses this weekend will be doing Ryder Cup.
Oh,
and they'll do their own version of it, right? And they'll have people signed up for it, and you'll have A players and B players, and they do it, of course, with handicaps and stuff to make it fair. But that's what it promotes around here,
right.
Some golf courses did it last weekend, and shame on you if you did it last weekend. Stay home and watch the Ryder Cup, or get some big screen TVs at your golf course so that people can come and watch it. Drink some beers or a little wine or have a little cigar and enjoy it. It's a really cool, like we don't have much like that we do for football and stuff like that. But I mean, like American pulling together, how in like Europe you have all they just ole, 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 all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like even in Australia, they do the same thing, right? Yep. Australian rules football and stuff like that. You get like that national, I don't know, what am I thinking of? Nationalism that I don't know. Not nationalism like we're taking stuff over.
Yeah, I was like, hang on. Let's take a turn.
No está Venezuela. All right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like that, I don't know, that American pride or that Australian pride. You get that country. Yeah. It doesn't happen that much in golf. Like it happens in everything else. Like in baseball, you get like if you're playing the Americans or World Series in Japan versus
you don't often get to
right.
it doesn't bring the whole country together.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm
So
talking about.
highlights. What were some of your highlights from the Ryder Cup this year?
I really liked how the rookies played. Was my favorite.
Yeah,
I was
just in
really
general.
looking forward to seeing how they would gel together. I loved how Phil Mickelson was on the sidelines. I thought that was a cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you're Colin Morikawa, right? And you're like, hey, you turn around and it's like Phil Mickelson's patting you on the back. You're like, I mean, there's got to be things like that when you're a professional, like you're just enamored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even you got to be starstruck, and you see these kids playing and like Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. I mean, they're just such cool as cucumbers. And all of a sudden they make a play and they're just turning around and they're like, Justin Thomas gets my like enthusiastic player of the tournament award because it didn't matter what he did. Every time he turned around, he was just like, "Oh yeah!" And he's like, "Everybody, getting up, get up, get up!" And it was awesome.
That's cool.
And they were winning by like 10 points, and he's still like, you know what? I don't care. Let's just keep going. And they didn't talk about it, but once they got to 14 points and they saw how all the other matches were going, they're like, "All right, now we got to go to 18. We got to set the record."
Yeah.
And they did, and they set the record for the most points. Slapped onto another team, unfortunately, at the unfortunate European teams. What's the word I'm looking for? Behest or no? I don't know.
I feel like we're having grammar lessons today.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's not worry.
Yeah.
They
just laid some smackdown on Europe. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Any disappointing things? Really? No. I mean, we won, so.
I was kind of disappointed in the fact that it sucked on Sunday.
Well,
you know what I mean? That's hugely disappointing because it's really great. There were so many matches where it came down to, like it was 14 to 13 and a half or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
it keeps you on the edge of your seat.
I mean, 18 to like you're like, okay, are they going to win by 10 or are they not going to win by 10? And that sucks.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
It's not as.
It was kind of like the Patriots game where you're like, it's 28 to blah blah blah. You're like, okay, I can't watch this anymore. It's so disappointing. And people want exciting golf. They want, like, nobody wants boring golf. In the Masters in the same way. Like, when guys run away with it, all you want them to do is once they start running away with it, you want them to keep running away with it to see how badly they can beat everybody. That's the only thing you can argue about because otherwise the whole weekend went the way that Steve Stricker wanted it to go. I got to give him credit for pairing the people the way that he did. He obviously got the best out of DJ. I mean, at 5-0, I mean, he just looked like back to his old form. He was slapping the ball around. He was hitting every fairway. Colin Morikawa, I can't talk enough about Colin Morikawa and how cool-headed that kid is. He is unreal. And to give credit, I have to say Paul Casey on the other side played great. John Rahm, of course, played great.
Yep.
Until he ran into a buzzsaw on Sunday.
What?
Oh, he got smacked around on Sunday.
Oh.
Him and poor Sergio got smacked around too. Yeah, it wasn't good, but I enjoyed it. I had a great time. Yep. I didn't get to see all of it. I watched Thursday, Friday, and then I was flying home on Saturday. But I did get to see Sunday, and I was like, ugh. I was hoping that when I landed, I was like, that's a little disappointing, but.
You know who we didn't give props to today? I feel like the back nine was brought to us by who? Scott's Roofing.
Scott's Roofing. Oh, I love those guys at Scott's Roofing. Go ahead. You say something nice about them. You got anything nice?
They do good
down?
roofing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do Scott's Roofing. I love Sean.
I'm just going to give a shout out to them. So, if you need, especially with winter coming, like if you need any repairs or anything like that, you better get a hold of them.
At 603-505-4455 for all of your roofing and siding needs. Our friends at Scott Roofing are always there for you. Give them a call. Honestly, when you call there, you'll get somebody, Sean or Darby. I mean, you don't get a answering service. You get nothing like that. All right, and they get your job done. Like you need a new roof, it'll be done by this weekend or in the next couple of days. It's crazy. But call them quick because I heard a lot of people are losing out on materials and stuff like that because everything's getting hard to get these days.
Yep, thanks,
which is
COVID.
not good. But we want to thank Scott's Roofing for being a sponsor, ELK Mortgage, and of course United
Elk Mortgage.
Yeah, Elk Mortgage. Sorry, and I keep doing that. I don't know why.
I know.
And who else but United Compressor? And
Of
Pump, too.
course. Well,
Love those
yeah,
guys.
United
And if you want to be a sponsor of our show, please join us. We're definitely looking for more
reach out,
sponsors.
sure.
And we'd love a nice cigar sponsor for our show.
Yeah,
Cigars
sure.
and golf. I think Bogies and Stogies.
Bogies and Stogies.
That was a great show
That was.
before we went
Yeah.
away. And Dave and Mr. Jonathan,
I'm sure they'll be
again, I'm
back.
going to thank you enough, and I would love to have them on the show anytime they want.
They think they're pros.
They seem
at
to be
this
getting
point.
good at golf these days. They were.
At least talking about
thought
it.
the rules-
Dave seemed confused a little bit here and there,
I
but
thought the
that's
rules
okay.
was pretty good because
Yeah.
they do change the rules all the time, and the rule book is ridiculous. Like Dave was talking about, it is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is a rule, and then it almost contradicts it there, and you're like, what? Wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we did. I know that
Yeah.
you did pressure pots while I was gone.
I
too.
did.
That was
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. They put me under the pump.
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
I enjoyed it though, but I enjoyed
How
that.
dare they ask me? They asked me who my favorite was, you or Janine.
Yeah,
Cheeky boys.
I know.
I pleaded the fifth.
I saw that. That's
fine.
okay. You can say me.
She's not here
It's fine.
today. It's you.
Yeah, it's me. I know. And
And she's here next week. It's
Janine.
It's really
It
just
is.
Murphy.
Yeah, well, we have some great shows
Yeah.
coming up in the next couple of weeks too. We're gonna have Homeland Heroes is going to be here. We're going to talk about how people around here can help, not just with golf, but you
Fantastic.
can help in general. Our veterans that are coming back from service and that need a helping hand.
Yep.
And we're also going to talk about Hawaii. I've got a couple of friends that are going to be coming on in the next couple of weeks. We got Dr. Gabriel's coming back to
Awesome.
get us into fall and winter shape so that we can hit balls properly when we're practicing this
Yep.
winter. We're gonna get Chrissy out this winter at we're doing a league at Club 14.
Awesome.
So we're gonna have you there, and we'll do
Yes.
whatever. And we'll figure out a night that works best for us. But we're gonna get Chrissy hitting balls so that next spring we can have on course reporting.
That
You know
would
what
be,
I'm saying?
yeah, I was going to say we definitely have to film that.
We're
Put
going
that
to bring
on
it
the
up to a
show.
new level. Season 3 will be a
right.
new level. But
Yeah.
I wanted to thank Chrissy. I love talking about Ryder Cup. But I know you have did you find a quote?
Oh, I do. I do have the quote of the
Awesome.
week.
Where do you want to
I
go
was
from
gonna
here,
say.
though?
So,
You seem to be more productive in the producing.
lucky, that's my job.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible if I was not very good at it.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't seem to produce much. Oh, well. Uh-oh, that's my job. No, yeah.
No, wait a second. Those words didn't come out of my mouth. I said
I
you
could
seem
read,
to
I
be
could
far
read
more
between the
productive than
lines.
I am,
Ah, there we go.
which is
All
not
right.
hard
Well,
today.
I'll do the quote of the week this week. I
Okay.
picked a good one I like from Hank Aaron. So what's he got? The owner of 755 home runs
Oh,
and
God.
once amazing golf quote was
The late Hank Aaron.
the late Hank
unfortunately.
Aaron. Sorry, he once said, "It took me 17 years to get 3,000 hits in baseball. It only took one afternoon on the golf course." I think that's brilliant.
Unfortunately, I think you will know what he's talking about when you
I
start
will.
doing
I'm
that.
sure I
But that
will.
is absolutely true.
All right.
It
So,
can. I played. I'll tell you next week about Turtle Bay and
oh yeah, we're gonna
a couple of
next
golf
week.
courses where we were like, okay, buying a couple dozen balls for this course. But next week we'll
Yep.
talk about Hawaii. And Chrissy,
Awesome.
thank you so much. And in the
You're
meantime,
welcome.
may your
What's
swing
that?
be straight and your ball fly far, and your score be something no less than par. How's that?
Perfect.
May your round be
Perfect.
blessed with no less
With
than par.
no less than par. We'll
right,
see you all
later.
next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.